Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B ward, this is Post Mortem. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD. Today we're going to give you our top 5 aquatic horror movies.
Episode 41, that means we're over the hill.
We're over the hill, and these are going to be some movies that have to do with bodies of water.
So we're over the hill and under the water.
Over the hill and under the sea. Under the sea. As you know by the graphic of this episode, we're under the sea.
The amazing fucking graphic of this episode. Getting Biff into that mermaid costume was next to impossible.
It was hard. I'm surprised that the clamshell bra fit him.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
No, I think we should have gone with 3 clamshell bras to cover all of his nipples.
Bailey would need like some double D's.
She'd need like an abalone shell.
Yeah, those shits are floppy.
She's got big
floppy
loopy titties.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. These puppies are fucking 4 times the size of when they came out now. They're huge.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since they were a couple days old. I have to go back and look at them.
Yeah, after we're done recording.
They look like little squeaky guinea pigs when I saw them last.
Yeah, they kind of still do.
Yeah.
They have bitch DNA, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get to our top 5 aquatic horror movies after we get to a little bit of horror news. Horror news.
Tragically flawed Biff DNA should be our rating system.
Tragically flawed Biff DNA. I'm down for that. All right, horror news. You want me to start us off this week?
Kick it.
So, 1998, Twisted Sister frontman Dee Snider starred in Strangeland, which he also wrote.
Did he direct it too?
No, actually, when I was doing the research and I found out this, he did not direct it, but he wrote it and starred in it.
Okay.
And I love that movie. He starred as a sadist specializing in body modification rituals who lures teenagers through the internet. He's never been secretive of plans for a sequel. At one point, he allegedly began casting under the moniker Strangeland Disciple and was said to begin 11 years after the original story, continuing with a schizophrenic sexual sadist who lures victims via the internet. Snyder stated that he would come complete with an NC-17 rating, promising it would be ultra intense.
Wow.
The movie was set to be set in an underworld of body modification fetishists amid a secret sadomasochistic freak societies of perverted pleasures that lurk just underneath the veneer of respectful society. The rumors of Dee and Robert Englund reprising their roles as Captain Howdy and Redneck Jackson. 1 year after Carlton Hendricks, Captain Howdy, his sadistic rampage, much more than physical scars remain. He has new victims. Their lives destroyed by emotional torment and the media frenzy surrounding his crimes. Detective Mike Gage, his daughter Genevieve, and vigilante Jackson Roth, played by Robert Englund, each have their crosses to bear from the incident. But when the badly burned and mentally broken Carlton Hendricks is taken from a state-run mental hospital and off his medication by a billionaire media mogul, leader of a body modification and fetish haven called the Torture Garden, the door swings wide open for each of Captain Howdy's victims to find closure and maybe retribution.
This sounds fucking awesome.
It does sound pretty awesome. They also have said that they might do a remake instead. The studio said that, but then he's saying, no, this is going to happen.
Yeah, fuck
and he's
remake.
still talking
Sequel,
about it. He wants
yeah.
to do it. This is a good sequel too.
Yeah,
that's a good plan. It's
that's
like
a great plot.
Make it more wide open. You know, as far as like now there's a club and it's not just him, but he's with a group.
And there's a secret society. You know, it does what a sequel needs to do and ups the ante a little bit.
Yeah, and you know that there's a really good character actor who plays a tow truck driver in the original Strangeland, and he talks about the nose piercings. You know, he's all tattooed. He's Yeah, he's a really good character actor. He's in that Anarchy Parlor tattoo horror movie, which I have not seen yet. I haven't seen it, yeah. But that kind of thing, and he was talking about it lurks underneath, and we're a different kind of breed and all this stuff like that. He explained it in the movie, this little character actor that was playing the tow truck driver. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I hope they fucking pull the trigger on this.
They need to bring out the guy with the nipples from Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Yeah, what the fuck? Side nipple?
Yeah.
He's got some side nipple. We talked about Bailey's nipples. We could talk about some side nipple.
Yeah. They could do a crossover with the movie Society.
Tragically flawed DNA nipples. What you got this week?
So Anne Rice announced today, actually, being Sunday, the day of our recording, that she has regained the film rights to the Vampire Chronicles book series, which is Interview with the Vampire, Vampire Lestat, and Memnoch the Devil, and all those.
Fucking Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, I don't speak of that movie.
You know what? Aaliyah looked pretty hot, though.
Oh, yeah, she was the only good thing about it.
The only good thing about the movie, yeah.
I liked Interview with the Vampire.
I like Interview with the Vampire, too. It's mainstream and stuff, but it is good.
Yeah, and the books are very good.
It's very gay, though.
Oh. The book is like 1,000,000 times more gay than the movie.
Yeah, did they actually bring it out in the open compared to the movie?
Comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of homoeroticism between Antonio Banderas and Tom Cruise and fucking Brad Pitt and all of them.
Yeah,
they're sucking more than blood.
There's definitely some cock vampirism going on. Jizz vampires.
All right, we're going with jizz vampires.
Count Ejacula and the Jizz vampires.
Ejacula. Dude, that's a movie that needs to be made. That's another movie we need to make. Count Ejacula. Ultra gay vampire Count Ejacula.
Yeah.
He wants to suck more than your blood. It writes itself. Dude.
Yeah, it does.
We can do that on a budget, too. Let's go for it.
To call my friend up in San Francisco who works in gay porn and get some extras.
All right, what you got?
Anyway, she has the rights back after years because they made Interview with a Vampire, it was good. Made Queen of the Damned and it fucking sucked. And then the third installment just kind of languished in development hell forever.
Yeah. Until
the studio was like, oh, we don't have the rights to this anymore. So Anne Rice is now working with her son, who is a television producer, to bring the Vampire Chronicles in its entirety in a completely faithful restoration overseen by her to television.
Cool. Is it going to be HBO or AMC?
They don't have a network yet. They're just developing it right now.
Even if it was Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah.
Probably Netflix. It seems like Netflix getting behind that would probably be the best.
That would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And if she's... Like, she had a lot of involvement in Interview with the Vampire, which I think is why it's as good as it was.
Yeah. I've never read any of her books. I'm not, I've seen Interview with the Vampire, but I've also seen Queen of the Damned, so...
I've read all of her books, and they're good, and they're consistently good. I haven't read every single book that she's written, but I've read the entire Vampire Chronicles, and they're consistently good all the way through, and I would say even they kind of get better and better as they go.
Oh, that's cool.
Memnoch the Devil was the last one in the series, and that one was fucking fantastic. It's about the devil that goes, and he's like the thing worse than the vampires.
Oh, that's cool.
So if they turn that into a television series, I think that would, and they do it in a way that doesn't
gory
censorship. Yeah, because the books are pretty fucking brutal. Like the vampires, they're not Twilight vampires. They're kind of effeminate and dandy, but like some of them are really fucking mean. Like Claudia, the little girl, torturing people.
Yeah, you know what? They are like little dandy boys. They're kind of Nancy boys with their frilly shirts and stuff, but that's like the classic vampire.
Yeah.
If you think of vampires and I think of like aristocracy and stuff like that.
Lord Byron vampires.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, and like Dracula himself too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the myth. They're not just from dusk till dawn vampires only. Right. But that's the one that if they were going to survive in like a secret society, it would have to be like rich, to and cover up their things like Lady Bathory and shit. Able to do that kind of stuff because she was fucking insanely rich,
and they have centuries and centuries to accumulate wealth.
Yeah, because they're immortal, so
they don't have to buy food or anything.
Yeah,
like that, so and the one thing that Anne Rice does with her vampires that I really like, and I think that it's a sin when they don't do this with vampires. The older vampires get, the fucking crazier they get, because the human mind is not meant to live hundreds and hundreds of years and process all of that information.
That's a cool concept.
So, Armand, it was Antonio Banderas' character, is actually a little boy in the books. but he's a sadistic fucking maniac because he's been treated like a little boy his entire life, and it's just made him meaner and meaner and meaner.
Yeah.
And then he has this dude Santiago that works for him. That's like I think they imply that he's Jack the Ripper. And
oh, really?
He can't gain sustenance from people unless he's like ripping their bodies apart while he's eating them.
And it's weird too because like there's like a level of like in Interview with the Vampire. There's a level of the homoeroticism. Also, like pedophilia, almost because
with Claudia and the little girl,
played by Mary Jane from Spider-Man. Yeah. And she like lived so she's not really a little girl, but she's in a little girl's body.
Yeah, and she's a sick fuck. In the books, she turns her maids into she kills her maids and then turns them into dolls.
That's cool.
Yeah,
maybe I should read some of that. I haven't read any of it. Maybe I'll check it out. Yeah. Hopefully Netflix get behind it or something. So, is that all you got to say about Anne Rice? I got a little quick one, a little snippet. It's kind of on the realms of horror, but new WWE video game, WWE 2K17, has came out, right?
Yeah.
You can download guys and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a horror fan, this is kind of what makes it tied into horrors, because a horror fan has created an arena and 36 horror icons complete with a backstory to create a fully free and downloadable game called Ring of Horror. Features both heroes and villains, 20 men and 16 women, all beating the crap out of one another to be the King of Horror champion, the Queen of Scream champion, or the Hack and Slash tag team champions. The arena is custom made to fit the horror feel and also has an interesting backstory. The host of Ring of Horror is using the Necronomicon to bind them all to the arena, and unable to kill each other, fighting for the entertainment of others for all of time.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Nobody knows why, but people are too busy enjoying themselves to care. You can preview it on YouTube before you drop $60 for a wrestling game, because you have to have the wrestling game to get this.
Right.
But this is honestly closer than, it's like as close as Mortal Kombat had, like Leatherface,
right,
and Jason and stuff like that. But that's just a couple characters. This guy has created this whole thing to where he has Candyman and Chucky and everyone you could think of that's a horror icon.
Wow.
Is in this game.
Oh, you know what? I saw
created.
that. I saw Candyman and I saw Ash.
Yeah,
and Ash looks like Bruce Campbell
because they have face scan technology to where it's Bruce Campbell's face.
Oh, you don't have to create the faces anymore?
No, you can scan a picture and take it from it. It's fucking crazy.
That's cool.
So this Ring of Horror thing, like I said, it's the closest thing we can get to a horror-based fighting game besides the few characters in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Because if you bought this game, you don't care about wrestling at all. You just buy the game and get the horror thing. It would be the best horror game that you've ever played, as far as a fighting game like a Tekken or a Mortal Kombat, because the controls and stuff are cool, and
it would really be impossible to get this game any other way because of licensing and all.
The licensing, yeah. So it's all user-created content. This guy has he's taken this game and made his own game out of that game.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really innovative, and it's called Ring of Horror. If you guys want to check it out on YouTube, you can see the characters, you can see them fighting each other, you can see the arena, which is like dimly lit, and like they have entrance videos and shit. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. So, that was always my favorite thing about the WWE 2K games was the customization engine. I'd play through the story mode and stuff like that to unlock stuff, but I didn't buy it for that. I bought it to make custom shit.
Me and David play it, and I don't make my own stuff, but we download it. We just have jobber battle royals with like Akeem and Zeus and like all the worst characters, Skinner, Doink, all that. Didn't
you make a Dusty Rhodes arena though?
Yeah, we were the Dustamania, baby. It says pork and beans over and over and over on everything. Hard times, Daddy. Hard times, Daddy. We got hard times. What else you got this week?
A new documentary entitled Foolish Mortals is set for release in early 2017. It focuses on Disneyland's Haunted Mansion attraction, the fan culture that surrounds it, and will feature interviews with the legendary Imagineers who designed it. The Imagineers are what Disney calls their artists who make things.
Okay.
So they're going to go in depth on like where all of the ideas for the Haunted Mansion came from, and then interview all of these people and how it's like affected them as people and as artists and all that. And I love the Haunted Mansion. It's
that movie Escape from Tomorrow. Have you seen it? Where they filmed it all without permission from Disney.
Yeah,
and it's kind of shitty.
I actually enjoyed it.
Well, if they would have done it at the Haunted Mansion, it would have been better. Imagine a found footage ghost story at the Haunted Mansion.
That would be cool.
To where, let's say that somebody has a heart attack and dies at the ride, and then
it becomes actually haunted.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
On my 21st birthday, my two friends and I went to Disneyland and did acid. and it had rained earlier in the day, so when we got there were no lines. We could just walk onto every single ride. It was fucking awesome. Like, it's like the best day I could imagine.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the end of the haunted house where you go past the mirror and, like, it projects a ghost hologram into your Doom buggy thing that you're riding in? My buddy Dan was this really tall, skinny guy, and he had just bought from the Mad Hatter shop this, like, voodoo top hat thing. And he wore a trench coat, because we were goth kids. And the image that they projected onto Dan, and it was a tall ghost in a top hat and a trench coat. Like, someone was fucking with us.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't really give a fuck about the fan culture. Like, fan culture documentaries seem like a big jerk off to me unless something happened and there's a story to tell.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the art and the engineering that went into creating the haunted house, because that thing, I mean, still, it was made in 1962 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's still a fucking technical marvel, and they haven't done much to change it.
No, it holds up because it's the way it is old. You know? And it's like the Lord of Illusions technology.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
Yes.
Lord of Illusions technology, brain demons.
Yeah. Yeah, because there are a lot of rides at Disneyland, like Alice in Wonderland is still cool, even though most of it is like wooden cutouts and shit. And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is the same way. It's still cool just because it's like, oh, this is a neat thing. But with the Haunted Mansion, like, other than the Haunted Mansion in Florida, I would assume, because there's one there too, there's really nothing like that anywhere else.
Yeah.
That uses, you know, hologram technology and all that craziness to pull off what they do. I mean, you could build a whole theme park on that shit if you had the money.
That would be pretty sweet, yeah.
But, yeah, it's a cool thing.
It's too fucking expensive, though. I want to take my kids, but the family is 6. You know how expensive that shit is? You're talking like $1,500 without fucking buying drinks and food and hotels and all this shit. You know, it's fucking crazy.
Your best bet would probably be to go through a travel agency and get a hotel package. You'll save money on that.
To me, fuck it, man. I'd rather go to like Universal Studios or Magic Mountain or something than Disneyland. But it's all about the kids, so we will be going there. But $1,500 is a little steep for one thing that I would enjoy.
Right.
That's the only thing, to be honest.
You just get really fucking drunk. They've got a beer garden.
Yeah. Yeah, and I bet those beers are nice and cheap, too.
Yeah. That's another $1,500 for like 3 beers.
Yeah. All right, well, writer-director Fede Alvarez is working on a sequel to this summer's Don't Breathe, which was a tremendous box office success, generating $150 million worldwide off a $10 million budget.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
That's good numbers.
Alvarez is not only developing the sequel, but he also plans on getting back in the director's chair, which is a pretty exciting prospect if you think about it, because, you know, he did a pretty good job.
And sequels are always better when the original director continues.
For sure. Recently, about the sequel, he talked to IGN, and he said, right now we have Don't Breathe 2 as something we really want to do. The challenge, obviously, is we just don't want to do the same movie again and just have a 2 in it. He said that he would be embarrassed if they did that.
Yeah.
So he's saying he's going another direction.
He's taking it seriously.
At first, the reaction was when they told us, no, that's Hollywood. The devil pushing us to do something just because we can. We get the idea. We had an idea and got really excited about it. We won't tell you what it is because it'll spoil the thing. But producer Sam Raimi chimed in and laid down a very serious claim. He said, "It's the greatest idea for a sequel I've ever heard. I'm not kidding. What's even better is both Alvarez and Raimi are convinced that the studio is not going to like what they have in store for everyone." They're coming out saying the studio is going to hate us. They're going to pay for this because it's going to be financial too. But they're going to hate what we do and we're going to shock the world. That's basically what they're trying to say.
This is coming from the guy who made Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably one of the best sequels.
Yeah, I think that probably is the best sequel ever in horror. We're going to do top 5 sequels eventually.
Yeah.
I want to do not just sequels, but I want to do like a top 5 number 2s, like actual sequels, and then a top 5 trilogies or more. You know what I mean? Like sagas.
Yeah.
But yeah, those claims are fucking pretty high.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said,
did Sam Raimi produce the first one?
I don't know. I didn't know he did. If he did,
you know what? I bet he did because him and Fede Alvarez are tight from doing Evil Dead.
Yeah. Well, for Sam Raimi to say it's the greatest sequel concept of all time, and Fede Alvarez to say we're going to shock the world, and them to say, you know, we're going to do this, and that they would be embarrassed if they did the formulaic number 2 cash grab, all that kind of stuff, and they're going to do something really special.
I hate it when my number 2s embarrass me.
if they do that, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With all these fucking claims, it better fucking kill it.
Yeah, don't just hype it up and then deliver a turd.
But Fede Alvarez has delivered.
Yeah.
You know, he has delivered with Evil Dead, Don't Breathe, you know.
Yeah.
I think that we have not seen his best yet.
He took something, when I heard that there was going to be an Evil Dead reboot, I was mad. Mm-hmm. And he took something, he made a good Ouija board movie as far as I'm concerned.
I like, yeah, he did the Mike Flanagan version.
Yeah, he's like the Spanish Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
And Mike Flanagano.
El Mike Flanagan. The Luchador version. But I like Evil Dead because it's ultra serious, and some people don't like it still just because it's taking the name of Evil Dead.
Right.
But to me, it's not like these fucking cash grab kind of things. Right. It is a good movie.
And it felt more like, I've said this over and over again, and I've even seen some things that confirm this, but it felt more like a sequel that took place in the same world.
Yeah,
than it did an actual thing.
It wasn't a remake. It just stole the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a sequel. Exactly. Like if they went from Evil Dead original, serious, Evil Dead 2, like comedy horror.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness, straight up comedy.
Yeah.
And then went back and went more extreme than the first one, but used the same concept, characters.
But they had the budget to make
and had the budget and just where they went with it. You know, there's no Ash.
Yeah.
So it's like they went in a completely different direction, and that's what saved it.
There was a scene shot that was supposed to be a post-credits scene where, I don't remember the girl's name, but where she's walking down the street after having gotten away from the cabin, and Ash rolls up in his car.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that at the end of the credits he says groovy.
Yeah, they put that in instead.
Yeah, they put that in, but I think that what saved that movie and made it so good was the fact that they didn't have an Ash, a recast Ash.
Right, they didn't try. Because
they didn't try. They had the girl and just made it completely different, and they went a completely different way. It was the same way how Ash gets possessed, not possessed, possessed, not possessed, but you did not think she would be the hero of the movie. You thought it was going to be the brother.
Yeah.
You know, if the whole movie you think it's going to be the brother until near the end. You know,
yeah, and then they throw that great curveball.
Yeah. You got anything else this week?
I got one more thing. Speaking of horror comedy. A new horror comedy called Beyond the Gates is hitting video on demand on December 9th. The synopsis is that two estranged brothers reunite 7 months after their father's disappearance to liquidate his video store. While there, they unearth an old VCR board game that acts as an interdimensional hub to a nightmare world where their father's soul is trapped and can only be saved by playing the game. The film is an adventure horror that pays tribute to the VHS format, video stores, and board games of the era. It's being described as a throwback to classics like Phantasm and Poltergeist, and features Barbara Crampton of Reanimator in a starring role.
Oh, yeah. Barbara Crampton I have spilled many a seed to.
Yeah. I don't know what she looks like now, but she's in it.
Dude, in From Beyond, she is fucking smoking in
a
little bondage outfit.
Yeah. And this movie looks like you actually might be too young to remember a lot of the VCR board games, because I was pretty young when they came out. But there was one called Nightmare, and basically you had the videotape, you put it in your VCR.
I remember that shit. Yeah. I don't remember the specific names, but I remember having board games where you watched the one I played was more like a Knights kind of thing, almost like a D&D kind of board game.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
But it had like a VHS tape that was really shitty and horrible production value.
And
I played that.
The video would like randomly skip around to various things. And this one looks like it's going to be a big tribute to Nightmare, which was I think one of the first VHS board games where you were like stuck in this Lovecraftian hell world, and your only guide was this dude with like this shitty green glowing face and like burlap sack cloak, but the actor was good. He was like this creepy old man under all of it, and he would tell you things, and like he would just say shitty fucked up things. I wish I could find a tape of that, because I bet it's public domain. I would love to sample it onto some music.
You know what just getting this is getting my brain going just talking about this with this now with the Oculus Rift and shit like that. Imagine what you could do with a game that was like a create your own adventure, but with the VR simulation instead of the VHS tape.
Yeah.
Having it be like a VR / like almost like a board game, like create your own adventure, like the books and shit like that, to where things are actually happening and you're actually controlling it with your body and shit. That would be fucking awesome.
You know, I think video game technology sort of surpassed VHS technology, so that format kind of got shoved by the wayside.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
And it was engrossing. And
board games are still fun.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't play them nowadays, but I play with my kids. We play some fucking Sorry and some, Uno. Yeah. And now you got Cthulhu Yahtzee. We need to have a family get together.
I had to learn how to play Yahtzee first, but I've got Cthulhu Yahtzee, damn it.
Annabelle can teach you.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say about that?
Nope. Looks like we got a good horror comedy coming out, though.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. You know something else I'm looking forward to? Top 5 aquatic horror movies.
Yeah.
Movies that involve water.
This one has a special place in my heart because I'm terrified of ocean creatures. That's like a legit phobia
Yeah,
for me.
and it's like, it's the whole HP Lovecraft kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know? It's awesome. It's a great list. I'm looking forward to it. And it's not just under the water. It could be above the water.
Yeah.
It could be the water's on you. We'll see. But
They involve water. Wet horror.
wet horror. Horror that makes me wet. We'll be back with that after the good movie and the bad movie.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Post Mortem podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Post Mortem podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. Doesn't cost you any money, we get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
We're back with the good movie and the bad movie. How good's your good movie this week?
It's not the best.
Mine's pretty good,
Yeah.
so why don't you start us off then?
Though when I was writing my write-up for it, I gave it a little bit more credit than I had initially given it when I watched it.
When you think about it, yeah.
But my bad movie is a 1981 slasher movie that is the spiritual sequel to the movie Anthropophagus, and it's called Absurd.
Yeah.
Written by Joe D'Amato, written and directed by him under the pseudonym Peter Newton. The synopsis is that a priest chases a mysterious wounded man into a small town. The mystery man attempts to hide in a house inhabited by a rich, unhappy family with a daughter who is recovering from a serious spinal injury. The man collapses in their living room, is taken to a hospital, and dies on the operating table, only to wake back up and go on a killing spree, eventually terrorizing the family whose home he originally invaded. It's up to the priest and a local police officer to stop the madman, who seems to have the ability to heal from even the most grievous wounds. But in the process, the priest must also face his own dark secrets. It started out promising. The opening of it was good.
I've seen this movie as well.
Yeah. But ultimately, it's just a giant ripoff of Halloween, with the killer being a big dude with a beard instead of a guy in a mask, and nobody else is likable or worth paying attention to.
And Anthropophagus is so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
And really, that's the only reason that it's considered the sequel to the Anthropophagus is because it's the same writer and director, and the dude who played the killer in Anthropophagus is the killer in this movie.
But did he, but he changed his name for this movie, but not the first one, right? It comes out under his real name, right? For the first one?
Yeah, Anthropophagus is under his real name.
Yeah.
And then, well, it depends, I guess, on where you watch it, because if you watch, I think the reason he changed it to Peter Newton is because he made porn movies also.
Uh-huh.
And I guess with the whole, like, home video, like, crazy, all the horror bands that was happening in the UK and parts of Europe, anything with the name Joe D'Amato on it was immediately banned, regardless of what
Just
it was.
like as a tag,
Yeah. So he changed his name to Peter Newton for that so that he could get this through.
He just really loves Fig Newtons.
Yeah, for real. And he loves them with his Peter.
That's a video that should be banned.
Yeah. It's like that dude on Twitter who fucked the McChicken.
That's horrible.
Like I said, the movie started out good. There was some decent gore, but it quickly fell apart due to shitty acting, a derivative story, and not enough good kills. Though there are a couple kills that did save it, including the girl getting baked in the oven.
See, I don't remember this. I saw it, like, I saw Anthropophagus, like, maybe high school.
Yeah.
And so then I started seeking out more stuff, you know, and I saw a bunch of the crazy Italian horror and shit. And I saw this, and I remember just being like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
He fell off, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like if you're running at the highest speed on a treadmill and it starts to be too much for you and you face plant and
then you slide backwards.
Fucking slides you backward and spits you back out the ass end.
That's what this is.
That's what this movie is, yeah.
And the movie's biggest sin was the little brother. He was Babadook Kid bad, and it wasn't a plot point. He was fucking annoying, stupid, kept causing trouble, and on top of that, he had an annoying accent when nobody else had the accent in the movie. Like, the rest of his family didn't have an accent, and like every time he was talking to his dad, he'd be like, "Daddy, can I go see the ponies? Daddy, Daddy!" I fucking hated this little motherfucker, this little curly mop-headed piece of shit. It got to the point where I was rooting for the killer just to fucking kill the kid off so that the movie could become partially tolerable.
You know, like we talked about the horror, Ring of Horror, I would like to see a fight to the death to where it's like battle royale with the kids and they each get a weapon.
This kid,
and
the Babadook
kid, all these fucking annoying kids of horror. Yeah. Kids of horror battle royale. And then take my money now.
And then the winner has to face Dennis and loses anyway.
And just loses anyway.
Yeah. So this movie is only a sequel to Anthropophagus in the sense that it used some of the same people. Other than that, it was an entirely different.
Other than that, it was absurd.
Yeah, it was just a fucking cynical cash grab, and really not worth watching. And like the reason they called it absurd was because when he died on the table and then came back, the doctor was like, "This is absolutely absurd."
Is it in English?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can't remember because some of those movies, it's like there will be like the New York Ripper and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Some of them they're like it's like some English, some dubbed. Yeah. And I think this movie was that. But if they were dubbing it, why the fuck did they leave the kid with the fucking weird accent?
Yeah.
You could have gotten any other kid off the street. Just fucking, like, there are 30,000 homeless children in New York. Maybe give one of them a fucking job.
Maybe it's like his nephew or something.
Something. Daddy! Fuck you, you fucking mop-headed fuck. I'm giving this movie 3 out of 10. What was it?
I don't know.
Tragically flawed Biff Nipples.
It's tragically flawed Biff Nipples. I'll take it.
Okay.
Might not be what we said, but that's good enough for me. My bad movie this week, 2016, written and directed by Mickey Keaton, who also made Pod.
Okay.
Remember, I gave it a positive review.
Yeah, Pod was a great movie.
It's streaming now on Netflix. IMDb calls it an action crime horror. Carnage Park.
Never heard of this? No.
It's on Netflix, so if you choose after my review to seek it out, it's available. After botching a robbery in a secluded California town, 2 crooks make a run from authorities with a hostage. It stars Ashley Bell from The Last Exorcism and Pat Healy, who is the lead in Cheap Thrills. I love Pat Healy.
Yeah, that guy's cool.
Yeah, he's really good. Set in 1973, it opens up in the aftermath of the robbery, and one of the guys is shot and dies soon after the beginning. The other pulls over and gets the hostage woman out of the trunk, then flashes back to the robbery. The angles, music, everything reminds me of a combination of Quentin Tarantino and Rob Zombie.
Okay.
Kind of like he's going for that,
Yeah.
Hostage and Scorpion Joe, who's the guy, and one of the robbers, are struggling over a knife when one of the tires of their car is shot out. Scorpion Joe handcuffs her to the steering wheel and goes to investigate and is shot. A weird redneck guy played by Pat Healy comes in.
Scorpion Joe even sounds like a Rob Zombie character.
It is, yeah. And he's awesome. He's the best part of the movie, but he just dies pretty quickly, so that kind of sucked. Pat Healy's also pretty good, but I'll get into why I don't like it. Pat Healy comes in, explains, "You're on private property, ma'am," and then chloroforms her.
Hey, that's what you do with trespassers.
Yeah. Then it begins a game of cat and mouse through junkyards and caves. After about 30 minutes, it got really boring, and I even started to doze off a few times. It was nowhere near Pod, especially in terms of the dialogue. Mm-hmm. Pod's dialogue was really good. That was the best part. That's what made it stand out to me. They try to get creative with some plot twists. The writing is just not up to par. There are problems with tone changes, shaky camera work, and bad editing. The movie starts out like a ripoff of Tarantino, and it takes it from old slashers as well, but comes off as a poor imitation of its inspirations. Keating should stick to being himself and not trying to emulate his influences, in my opinion, because that's what he tried to do here, and it fails. It misses the mark. So they also overuse a lot of cliches and horror tropes, but without the sense of irony and humor that would justify doing so. So they're going to these places, but it's not with a tongue-in-cheek. There's no wink and a nod. Right. It's just He's like, I'm going to take all these things from all these movies that I like and make a movie with all of them in it.
Right.
You know?
Like in the Ouija board movie we just watched. Like, they're like, let's split up. And the girl's like, no, it's the fucking stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. And it's kind of like if you were in 6th grade and you were a horror movie fan and you made your own movie.
Yeah.
And you just put in as much cool stuff that you've seen
right.
into this one movie, you know. Kind of like my movies that need a sequel. So
channeled through your inner 6th grader.
Yeah. I love Pat Healy, and his character is good, while the rest of the movie falls flat. And although he delivers, it's not enough to make up for the shaky camera work and misdirection. The pseudo-amusement park and human hunting were better in the original story, The Most Dangerous Game. You know, The Most Dangerous Game?
Yeah, that's great.
And previous adaptations like The Game with Ice-T, and even John Leguizamo in The Pest.
Wow. If you're putting The Pest over
I'm
this...
ridiculous, like a booger, I stick to this. Take a whiff of this. I would rather play with Himmel and his snaky wakey and the pedophile dad from Beetlejuice from the past than be bored through this one again.
Wow.
IMDb gives it 4.9. I'll have to say that this is pretty close, but a little over. I'm going to settle down at 4.4. Tragically flawed Biff Nipples.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I think I'll skip that one.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen 31 yet, so...
Just watch The Past.
Yes, Dad. I'll pass on that one, too.
I like The Past.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite either, but it's a guilty pleasure.
Wow.
David's watched it like 4 times in 1 week. He was obsessed with it.
David is the pest.
He is. No, he's Himmel. He's the German son that's gay for the snakes.
Yeah. That's David right there.
All right. Good movies. Let's
Yes.
cleanse the palate. Get to some good movies.
My good movie is one that I know you've seen because you recommended it to me. And it's the WNUF Halloween special.
Did you like it?
I liked it. And I'll go into more detail on it. And initially, when I first watched it, I felt like it was one of those movies that did something good for everything that it did bad.
It starts off strong and like you're
yeah.
like, I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
I really thought I was going to like it more.
Well, yeah, you know, I said initially that I was like 49% I didn't like it, 51% I did like it.
Yeah.
But as I thought about it more, and I think this is actually the mark of a well-made movie, like when you think about it more, you start realizing that like there's shit that you might have missed.
It's a cool concept, too.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back and watch it again. Yeah, so this movie is directed by a guy named... It was made in 2013. It's a found footage movie, I guess you would call it. It's sort of like the same thing Bruce watches. Yes.
Yeah, it's the news. It's not a found footage, you wouldn't say, because it was like a news broadcast, and they go back and forth from there.
And it was directed by Chris LaMartina and 6 other people, because there's a whole bunch of shit going on. But the premise is that on Halloween of 1987, a local Midwestern TV station broadcast a special televised ghost hunt at a local haunted house that was the site of a brutal murder years back. Complete with a Geraldo Rivera-style newscaster, a plucky producer, a pair of eccentric psychic paranormal investigators, and their psychic cat, a reluctant priest, the intrepid group locks themselves in the notorious house and finds more than an angry spirit living there. The movie starts out brilliant. There's a half-hour local news broadcast, which was a really, really smart way of giving the backstory of the town and the house where the ghost hunt was taking place and some of the other elements that like were going on around it to sort of give a setting.
Not just that, but it like it's slow, you know, because it's the news. But you're watching the news,
yeah, it's
fake news basically,
and it's done with no irony.
Yeah,
you know, it's
just the news.
It's
just local shitty. You know how shitty local news is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cut back to you, the chopper, bub.
Yeah, and the whole thing. After the news, it cuts to the Halloween special part of the story where the real action took place, and the whole thing was interspersed with these awesomely terrible TV commercials for local businesses and events and parodies of 80s style TV shows. And it was all filmed and post-produced in such a way that everything not only looked 80s, but like it was scratchy, like you were watching an old VHS tape that someone found.
And it even gets to parts where it's like dubbed over, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you have like commercials too, but then
And
it's
then
like dubbed over to
yeah.
like some little kid's game or something like that at one point.
Yeah.
I knew that. Like, I recommended it to you because I would. We'll get to the ratings when you rate it, but I didn't like it as much as I thought you would like it. When I was thinking about it the other day, when I recommended it to you, I'm like, this is for Dom, like with the Ghost Watch thing. I know you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And if this had the same, but this was never actually broadcast on TV.
Yeah.
But the way it's set up, it's very, very smart, and everything is really authentic. The houses, the sets, the costume, the technology, even the hairstyles, everything had a great attention to detail. In the beginning of the haunted house portion, when the newscaster is out front with all of the trick-or-treaters, they got like shitty 80s Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
And it looked fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good, subtle humor in those parts. Like, the commercials were obviously a throwback. But the people that were featured on the news segments were a little bit weird, and the townspeople were all funny. But it wasn't like, ha ha ha, we're being funny. Like in Dude Bro Party Massacre, it was like, look at how fucking stupid
in
these
the 80s. Like, if you watch old school shit, nowadays, it's like that. You know, you laugh at it, and it's not, they're not being intentionally funny. It's just you look at their fucking hairstyles and just the whole...
And how seriously they took themselves, and they're serious about their badness. My favorite thing, though, were the paranormal investigators, because they were a total rib on the Warrens, and they were just fucking assholes.
Yeah.
With their
that's why I figured you like it the most, is because it was almost like, The Conjuring, that kind of thing, and but just as a tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. I thought it was funny when they first came out, and, like, they were obviously kind of full of bullshit, but the second they brought out the psychic cat, I fucking pumped for that. I was like, this is awesome. I do have some complaints on it, though. Some of the acting on the news segments was bad, and that kind of took me out of it. It was like the people were acting like they were actually in a shitty 80s movie, as opposed to acting like they were people in the 80s. It was mostly the incidental people during the news reports. Like, if they interviewed someone, their delivery was a little bit too...
It's over the top.
Rehearsed.
Yeah, and it's over the top as well.
Yeah.
They don't act like real people. They, like you said, they act like people in an 80s movie,
Yeah, and that kind of took me out of it. Also, it got to a point where there were too many commercial breaks, and that fucked up the flow, especially towards the end. Like, they should have been like,
this is too crazy. Why would we go to commercial?
No more commercial interruptions.
Yeah.
And it also felt like while the commercials were good, and some commercials referenced other commercials, it felt like they were trying to expand their runtime with it, because they started repeating the same commercials.
Yeah.
And I understand that, like, on a real TV broadcast, they would repeat commercials because you see the same fucking commercials all the time.
And not just that, but also with the crazy shit that's happening there. They go to commercial to take up time to,
As opposed to letting it flow.
Yeah.
And what they could have done also was go to the commercial break, and they did this at other points, and then it would fast forward through the commercial.
Yeah.
And it would be like a tape, and they would play it fast, and then you would get back to the action. Like, instead of repeating the same commercials over and over again, we've already seen it. We get the joke. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
Fast forward it. Like, that still leaves the authenticity of it.
Even if the guy, like, even if you're watching it and it was fast forwarding because it's an old recording, would be sweet.
Yeah. And so, on some level, it felt more like a tribute to 80s TV commercials than a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was a good idea. They just pumped it too much.
A great idea, and it would have been better if it was shorter.
Yeah.
We say that a lot of times. If you would have trimmed the fat and trimmed this into a short film, if it was about 40 minutes long, it would have been a lot better than clocking in at like an hour and 20 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And to me, it took too long,
Right.
And it's set up, and even when it got there, it was still a little dragged out.
Yeah.
I would prefer something that happens, like it's a setup, something happens, it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Though I really did like the ending, and I like how it tied into the newscast at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, everything sort of came around full circle and do a very... I'm not going to say it was a neat package, but it was a package.
Yeah. Some kind of package.
Yeah. It's like when I wrap a Christmas present. Like, the present's wrapped, but it looks like a retarded
It's
5-year-old
covered.
did it.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, but you might have gotten it from a 10-year-old with no thumbs.
Yeah. And then it's more disguised that way,
Yeah.
Some extra lumps here and there.
Yeah. Can't tell what it is.
I like to torture my kids by, like, getting a big-ass box and then putting, like, a bunch of books, like, off my shelf and stuff, making it super heavy. and then putting another box in it, another box, and all this tape and all this shit to eventually get to one little tiny present.
Yeah.
And they think it's their main gift, and they're always touching it all year.
Right. My dad used to send me on scavenger hunts, and he would put bricks in a box, so they'd be fucking heavy. And then he'd send me out to the shed, and out to here, and out to my grandma's house, and to the neighbor's house at one point. He'd send me all over the place. And then finally I'd end up back in the living room, and my actual present would be in the middle of the living room.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's my dad for you. So anyway, back to this movie. I felt like it was one, like I said, one of those things where they did something wrong for everything that they did right, but their attention to detail and creation of a really authentic 80s feel was a fucking impressive effort.
You got to give them a couple points for that.
Yeah. Any child of the 80s would see this and immediately be brought back to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 tragically flawed Biff nipples.
Okay, I would probably I'd probably concur with you. Maybe I'd say 6.8, 6.7. If I was going to go lower, but not much lower. So.
Yeah.
But still,
worth
a watch.
After having one of my nipple rings ripped out, I don't like the idea of splitting nipples.
Tragically flawed. All right, my good movie, 2012, Irish horror comedy directed by John Wright and written by Kevin Lehane, who both only have a couple of credits to their name and nothing I'd ever heard of. This team.
Okay.
Starring Richard Coyle, Ruth Bradley, and Russell Tovey. It's called Grabbers.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
You seen it?
Yeah. I like it.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Peace officer Lisa Nolan comes to Ireland, Ireland, say that a couple times, to take charge during a colleague's 2-week holiday. Simultaneously, bloodthirsty, sea-dwelling aliens arrive at the quiet island to propagate. As dead whales wash up on shore and people start mysteriously disappearing, officers and a few locals slowly discover their peril, along with one sure defense: high blood alcohol levels. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my kind of movie. And the aliens can't stomach it. As the storm approaches, enabling hungry hatchlings access to the locals, an open bar kicks off a desperate bid for survival as inebriated police and friends stagger to remain cognizant long enough to thwart the alien invasion.
Yeah.
So everyone is hammered drunk because the aliens won't eat them. Fucking awesome. The Grabbers are blue balls of tentacles, kind of similar to the funky ball of teats in the Mighty Boosh Old Greg skit.
Yeah.
But with longer teats and
the funk study was done with that shit.
A pulsating mouth that looks like an asshole with rotating teeth.
Yeah. That's a good summation of it, yeah.
When one appears to be killed by the town drunk, but is revitalized by water until it bites down on the sheriff and dies again because the sheriff is hammered already before this invasion. Sheriff just likes to drink. It's Ireland, after all.
Yeah.
A scientist discovers that all they need to survive is blood and water, but they have a huge problem with alcohol. Straight edge ball of teats.
Yep.
They're straight edge balls of teats. X's on every one of their tentacles.
Big CM Punk fans.
Yeah. I'm drug free. That means I'm better than you. The effects are a good combination of CGI and practical. And they use things like shadows and rain to hide the bad CGI. Yeah. So when they need a lot of CGI, it's raining outside, it's dark. That's the proper way to do it.
It didn't have a huge budget, but they've worked very well with what they had.
They did, definitely. There's some gore, but it's not over the top. The best part about this movie is its sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's good, For every kill, there's a good one-liner. While monsters are killing and destroying the town, everyone continues to party and get shit-faced. The best way I could describe this movie would be like a combination of Shaun of the Dead, The Host, Dead Alive, and The Faculty.
Yeah.
Take those 4 movies, put it in a blender with some Jameson.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
some Guinness.
This is what you'd get. So IMDb gives it 6.3. I'd say it's better than that.
Oh, yeah, way better than
I'd say it's like a 7.8. Biff nipples?
Tragically
flawed Biff nipples. Yeah, I recommend I recommend Grabbers. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. I avoided it for so long because sometimes when there's a strong accent, because they're speaking English with a strong accent,
right,
that kind of turns me off. I'd rather watch Japanese movies with English subtitles,
right? Because
I know everything they're saying. But when it's a strong Irish accent, something like that, where they're still speaking English, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think kind of puts me off a little bit.
I think when I watched it, I put on closed captioning. Actually,
yeah, it's pretty hard. Yeah, it's kind of like The Witch in that, they're speaking English, but
Yeah.
you don't know what the fuck they're saying, especially because they're all drunk, too.
Right.
So they're speaking
That's
strong
actually,
accent.
there's actually no such thing as an Irish accent. You just get fucking drunk and speak regular English.
Yeah. So that's our bad movie and our good movie this week.
I'm kind of curious now, like, what if I went back and watched The Witch with the closed captioning on?
Would you like it?
And it's suddenly like the best
That's my
horror
favorite
I've
movie
ever
of the
seen.
year.
Yeah. That would be funny.
But that was your Morty.
Yeah,
That's the bad movie Morty.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't listened to our live show yet, yeah, the Morty Awards happened. They came and gone. We reviewed the best and the worst of 2016 until next year.
And we're going to mail statues to their creators.
Yeah, we're going to mail statues. I'm going to mail those Biff heads.
Just mail
Biff Pogo heads. Yeah. No, I'll mail puppies to them. We got plenty to spare.
Mail Biff to the creator of The Witch.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This all upside down head. All right. We'll be back with the top 5 aquatic horrors.
Prepare to embark on a haunting journey to the outer reaches of consciousness. Mechanical Ghost presents Asmori D Volume 1. Stepping Sideways and Descending. An experiment in audio necromancy designed to stimulate your pineal gland and open your mind to a world beyond life and death. Go to www.mechanicalghost.com to purchase your copy. The Plague Doctor awaits.
And we're back with the top 5 aquatic horror movies. We're going to go spelunking. Oh, wait, that's caves.
Yeah, we're going to go scuba diving.
Scubaing? What's
Scuba.
scubaing?
Scubaing.
Scubaing.
Scubaing. We're going scubaing. Snorkeling.
Snorkeling. We're going to butt snorkel some lists right now.
Horror snorkel. Death snorkel.
Yeah, since you started off the good and the bad, I guess I'll start off the top 5.
Sure.
My number 5, we said that this is not necessarily under the water, it's just involving water.
Right.
These movies have to have water, so we're not saying... And, to clarify, Jaws is number 0.
Yeah.
Jaws will not be on the list, of course.
Waterworld will not be on the list.
Oh, yeah, Waterworld will not be on the list for multiple reasons. My number 5 is a little movie called Dead Calm. You ever see Dead Calm?
No, I never saw that.
You never seen it? You need to check that out. It has Billy Zane, who's like the bad guy in Titanic, and he's the bad guy in Demon Knight.
He had a really good mullet in Critters.
Yeah. No, it's really good. So a couple goes out on their boat when another guy comes because he said that his boat sank, and he's actually fucking batshit crazy and just terrifies these people all on their little vacation.
Nice.
And it gets really good. It's an 80s, like, it's more of a thriller. Like, you could say it's a horror because he's a killer.
Right.
But it's more of a thriller. And I recommend you guys checking it out. I think it's on Comcast right now, on demand. It might be on Netflix. I don't think so. But it's called Dead Calm. 80s, nice little 80s horror thriller.
Nice.
It's on a boat. It takes place on a boat.
Yeah.
Dead calm, you know. When the waves are calm, you know.
Right. It's dead.
But
calm.
also dead.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 was going to be The Grabber from Grabbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Go for it then.
But since we talked about it, since we were just talking about it, I've actually decided to take that one off my list and move up my first honorable mention, which is The Smart Shark in Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea.
Because not only was it
honorable
a shark,
mentions.
it was a shark that had fucking timing.
So you're going with actual, like, characters.
Sometimes.
Okay, I just went with whole movies.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah. The Smart Shark. Deep Blue Sea is not a fucking good movie, but it's a great movie.
Dude, it is good. It's not good. Yeah, it's not good, but it's good.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's great. Yeah, I mean, just the one-liner after one-liner and the Samuel L. Jackson
Pretty
scene,
fucking stupid. Yeah.
If you have skipped Deep Blue Sea because you think it's going to be a fucking stupid-ass movie, you're right that it's a fucking stupid-ass movie, but go watch that motherfucker.
Yeah, go watch it.
Do something with your life. Accomplish something.
If that's what you want to accomplish, then that's fine.
Watch Deep Blue Sea because it's a fucking smart shark. Smart shark.
It's a smock shirt.
A smock shark. Smirk shirt. Oh my god, it's a smirk shirt.
All right.
That's that.
That went to different areas that we did not expect. My number 4 is a TV movie that I just watched today. I showed it to Aubrey and David. We watched it all together. Mid-90s TV movie called Cabin by the Lake, starring Judd Nelson.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is a guy who's a screenwriter, and to research his new movie, which he's writing, about drowning women in the lake to create an undersea garden that you tend to every day.
Corpse garden.
You must tend to your garden every day.
Yeah.
He then kills these people in order to write the story. And so he has a little van that says, "Show dogs, do not tailgate."
Yeah.
But he slams on his brakes, and this bitch hits him in the back of the van. He throws her in the van. And when she's in the van, after he slams the door, on tape it says, "I'm the guy your mother warned you about."
Yes.
Written inside of his van. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So then he continues to kill people, throw them into the water, and he's very strange, and he's very like almost like a American Psycho in that way. Of, like, he's very like calm and collected. There's
Until he's not.
Yeah, he's so mad that they want to change his script and stuff to where he ends up killing the fucking director and the executives and stuff like that, and going on the lam and everything.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where he's calmly talking to her. She's in the bath, and he's just sitting there in a chair, and his eyes are fucking Judd Nelson eyes, all big, and like he tells her, because about a screenplay, you know, they want to rewrite a screenplay, and she's happy. He's like, "What if you built a house, and it was a beautiful house, and you did it just like you want, and then somebody came and bought your house, and then they bulldozed over it and built a prefab stucco home. How would you feel?" And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Yes, you do."
Yeah, he was super intense in that movie.
He was super intense.
You know,
He's very good.
Wouldn't really think of him as a serial killer type, but he pulled it off.
The movie's for free on YouTube. If you guys want to watch it, it's on YouTube for free. It's called Cabin by the Lake, and there's also a sequel called Return to Cabin by the Lake, which is not as good. It is ridiculous. Like, it's still worth watching. If you watch the first one, you really like it. I would rate it like a full 3 points lower than the original, but for a USA Network mid-90s TV movie, that shit was been so memorable to me that I've sought it out, you know, years later, thinking about just that part. Yes, you do. It's the best part, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm the guy your mother warned you about.
Yeah. It's smart shit. My number 4, little Asian film called The Host.
Oh yeah, The Host. On my honorable mentions. I love that movie.
Good monsters. Good CG monsters. You know, there's good and there's bad. And
great CG.
Yeah. This one really fucking Jurassic Park.
It's a good old school monster movie, kind of like Godzilla-esque almost, but good, you know?
Yeah.
Really good.
It's like
the
Godzilla.
acting is good too.
Yeah. I mean, it's an Asian movie.
It's
You can't really
Korean,
tell.
right?
Yeah.
Korean.
It's like Godzilla, but more Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
Like they're tentacle beasties
monsters
with split open faces, and they come from the sea and they fuck shit up, and great movie.
Yeah, it's good. All right. My number 3. It's not a movie, it's a TV episode. I'm not trying to ruffle the feathers or anything.
I've done that before. I've done TV
I know you
episodes,
have,
so.
but it's
I did video games once.
episode of the X-Files called Triangle.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Where Mulder and Scully he gets caught in the Bermuda Triangle, and he goes back and fights Nazis, and he comes back and forth through time. It's fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah.
You guys need to check that out. X-Files is still on Netflix. Do yourself the favor of rewatching the X-Files in its entirety. It's much better than you remember it. If you're not a fan of it, it's much better. If you like horror and you like sci-fi and stuff, it's much better on the whole than you remember it being. It did degrade, like, once they had the fucking T-2000 or whatever.
Yeah, once David Duchovny left.
Yeah. Even the season before that, it was getting bad.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I should go back and rewatch that again.
You should, dude. I used to... Back in my dating days, you know, before I was married, I know if I'd like a girl or not because I would judge it by, would I rather just sit in my underwear on the couch, laying down, watching the X-Files with my fan blowing on me on high, than put my penis in you.
I thought you were going to go with the whole do it doggy style so we can both watch X-Files thing.
No. I would turn bitches down and be like, nah.
I'd rather watch X-Files.
I can't today. I'm busy. I got plans. I'm gonna lay on my couch, with my fan blowing on high, my industrial fan, watching X-Files.
Actually, sounds like a fucking good night.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I know what I'm doing this weekend. My number 3. This movie holds a special place in my heart because it's one of the first horror movies that I saw that I really remember seeing.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's the first because I think I saw other ones before, but Leviathan.
Leviathan, yeah, I remember it. You know what? Another one it's on my honorable mentions, but there was these movies, you would see these VHS tapes, and Leviathan had a great cover.
Yeah, great cover.
Another one was Orca.
Yeah.
Remember the Orca cover?
I never saw Orca, but
I saw like half of it, and it's not good, but just these covers. Some of these covers of these movies to me were more iconic than the movie.
Back when it was an art form.
Remember the movie Popcorn?
Yeah.
You know?
I actually I watched Popcorn like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's still entertaining.
Really?
The acting is shit.
I thought it was horrible. But the fucking poster is awesome. Some of these 80s posters, just that VHS box art, you know, back when you were a kid, and you could browse those shelves, and you'd see these movies like, wow, I want to watch that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Leviathan had great art, and it's actually not that bad a movie. It's an Italian movie actually, but it's in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, the special effects were okay. The acting was good. The story was really good. You know, it was alien underwater, like you know that's basically what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But it had its own.
It is an
spin on
alien
it.
ripoff almost. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna watch that fucker tonight. I think. Yeah.
Might have to go back and watch it again too. I watched it a year or two ago. And I was like, oh, wow, this still holds up. But, you know, just that iconic scene of the tentacle shooting through the console and, like, wrapping around the guy's neck and dragging him away.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good movie.
All right. Well, my number 2, then. It's a segment from an anthology horror movie. And I can't remember whether it was this movie or Under Siege when Erica Liniak pops out of the cake. I can't remember if it was that. It was the first time I saw boobs in a movie. Not just in a magazine or something, but in the actual movie I was watching.
Right.
Or Creepshow 2, The Raft.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
The sludge eating her, and he flips her over to see her boobs.
Yeah.
And he starts kissing on her and stuff, and then she turns away, and her face is melted off.
Yep.
She starts screaming. The oil slick from the raft. I beat you, you fucker. And then the wave hits and gets him. Yeah. The Raft is fucking awesome.
Good horror right there.
Great horror. And I don't remember whether it was... I remember I saw it Under Siege with my friend and his family. 1991, Under Siege. She pops out of that cake.
Yeah.
I remember being all red-faced. Like,
yeah.
oh.
I had mono when I saw that movie. I saw it on VHS. I rented it. I was all sick, but I was like... I feel like shit, but I know what I'm doing later.
So 1991, how old are you?
11.
11, okay, I was 6, so you're 5 years ahead of me. So, yeah. You were beating off, I was just having uncomfortable feelings. Number 2.
My number 2 is Dagon.
Under Siege should have been on my list, actually.
It's an aquatic something. You'd be an honorable mention. My number 2 is Dagon.
That's my number 1.
Is it?
It is.
Okay,
so we can just go right into it.
Yeah, let's go right into it. It's a fucking great movie.
It is, and even though it's not Dagon, it's Shadow over Innsmouth.
Yeah.
So why do they call it Dagon?
Because they worship Dagon.
Yeah, I guess.
Dagon!
Yeah,
That's how they say it.
Dagon. Dagon.
But I think it's probably, not counting Reanimator, because Reanimator sort of deviates from the source material. As far as pure Lovecraftian horror movies go, like rooted in Lovecraft stories, I think it's the best Lovecraft movie.
Well, you got From Beyond, and you got, a lot. You got In the Mouth of Madness. You got quite a...
But, like, Lovecraft didn't write In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, just, yeah.
Like straight,
that.
like, based on Lovecraft
based on his stories, you mean, yeah. That's right, because Reanimator, the actual movie, is not too close.
It's way different, yeah.
And From Beyond's great, but it also varies,
yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably the closest to the Shadow over Innsmouth that's good, because a lot of the ones that try to stay with his source material, a lot of Lovecraft movies out there suck.
Yeah,
they're horrible.
Terrible. Yeah, but...
the only worst one is Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe movies are fucking bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that. Though, that animated one, I watched.
Yeah, you watched it?
That one was awesome.
Extraordinary Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my good movies on a couple of shows ago.
That was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, especially the Telltale Heart. The
Yeah.
black and white, the artistic style they did that.
I want to go and like buy that so that if I have grandkids sometime
Yeah,
down the
in
line,
case they take it off Netflix, yeah.
or like there's no Netflix when I'm 90.
Yeah. You don't even remember what Netflix is.
Yeah.
They find it in your house and they're like, what's an DVD? How do we play this?
Yeah.
Like an 8-track?
What is this plastic technology?
Yeah, Dagon is by far my favorite aquatic horror movie. I would put it above Jaws even. We say Jaws is 0.
Yeah.
To me, Dagon's better.
I would say Dagon is better than Jaws.
Yeah.
And I would actually say Dagon is a better movie than my number one, but my number one is so iconic that it had to be my number one.
Yeah. The old man in Dagon with the skin ripping off and the flashback scenes where it shows the people and they find the gold in their church and they get rid of their old idols, they take down the cross and fucking destroy it.
Replace it with the Eye of Dagon.
Yeah.
And everything's gold, gold, gold.
And I like how when you start seeing fish people and shit like that, they're not all the same.
Yeah.
It's not hordes of fish people that look the same. It's
Everyone-
people with bandages covering their
Yeah.
fucking eyes or their hand. Wherever they're starting to turn to a fish, that's when they're trying to hide it.
Yeah.
When he first gets to town.
Yeah.
And you got the priest, you got the innkeeper, everything, and it's just a very creepy movie.
Yeah,
Especially
the girl, she's all hot, but she's in a wheelchair. Like
Yeah.
something's wrong with her.
Yeah.
And
Dagon. and the fucking girl with her leg pinched and you see the mass under the
Yeah.
water. You don't know what it is.
it's everything has its own personality. It's not
Yeah.
just like they stuck a bunch of fucking rubber shit on people.
Yeah.
Like, they put work into it. They put thought into it. It's a Brian Yuzna production. Of course, it's
Yeah.
going to be that way.
I think I'm going to watch that tonight instead of Leviathan. I haven't seen it for a couple of years now. I love me some Dagon.
I've got it on
the
VHS.
tape.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
I bought it from Hollywood Video.
I think I did too.
Really?
Yeah, when they're closing down.
Yeah, me too.
That's funny.
It's a Post Mortem style right there.
Yeah, fucking A.
Twinsies.
Yeah. My number one is The Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's not a deep pull, but
It's iconic. It is
it's-
iconic.
It really is. It's the one that started them all.
Yeah. I was sad to give away my Funko Pop Creature of the Black Lagoon at our live show, but
Yeah.
the trivia had to have some prizes, so I'll let that fucker go.
Danny's son is happy, I'm sure.
He's got a good home. I think that his father might have whispered in his ear. Well, that's debatable.
You were robbed. Robbed.
Robbed of my Funko Pop. But yeah, it's all right. It's an okay movie. You know, I would have put Swamp Thing on my list too. You know, if you
Yeah,
want-
that's true. I
It's
didn't
kind of
think
like
about that.
Swamp Thing. You know,
Yeah.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon is. If you're going that, you know, it's water. But
Yeah.
it's a lagoon. It's not the ocean.
That's true.
It's a lake. And number 0 is Jaws.
Yes. Got honorable mentions?
I have some. Shockwaves. You ever see Shockwaves? The Nazi zombies?
No.
Dude, 1977 Shockwaves. You gotta check that fucker out.
never heard of it.
It's bad.
Okay.
But it's good. It's a good bad movie.
Nice. It's Nazi zombies. I'm always down with that.
If you see the box art, it's so iconic to me.
Okay.
It's like it almost looks like the Invisible Man when he's wrapped up in the bandages, but he has like the little spectacle goggles.
It's like the
thing,
Invisible
like,
Nazi.
swastika on his head, and but they're like Nazi zombie underwater kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, check out Shockwaves. You know,
Waterlogged zombies are gross.
Dark Water. Have you ever seen that one where
Yeah.
it's like an apartment complex and
Yeah.
stuff with Jennifer Connelly? and
There's
her-
a Japanese one too.
Her big old bush. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
remake of it. I never saw the Japanese one. I only saw her.
Japanese one's way
the,
better.
The Bush version.
The Bush Bros.
Conley Bush. Ass to ass.
It's not going to suck itself.
This is only a scene from a movie, but there's a lot of water in this movie. But when the zombie fights the shark in Zombie, I'm actually going to get that tattooed on me, the zombie fighting the shark.
That's awesome.
I said
You should get a zombie farting a shark
Yeah,
tattoo.
that's
on
even
you.
better, yeah. I had Deep Rising. You
Yeah.
ever see Deep Rising?
Yeah.
Not great, but there's some tentacles in there.
Yeah.
And it has Schwan. Schwan from Lord of Illusions.
Yeah.
Deep Blue Sea. Ghost Ship, bad movie, great opening scene.
Yeah.
The Fog, bad movie, but it takes place on water.
Yeah.
The Mist is not really water, but there's tentacles and shit. It reminds me of
Yeah.
water. So I didn't put it on the list. It would have been on my list if it was more water-based. A Mist is not really classified as aquatic horror, but
Right.
those are Lovecraftian beasts. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So
They probably came out of the ocean somewhere.
one that's not really a horror movie, but has a very horrific scene is The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I love that movie.
I love it too.
Have you read the book?
Except for the fucking video game scene.
Really? I thought the video scene
No,
was
I think
funny.
it's horrible. But the shark attack scene is
Yeah.
very horrific in that movie. And the whole movie's good. It's a good, it shows are about our society
Yeah.
and the fucking overpopulation and nature's beauty and stuff. It's a great movie.
And also, introducing elements to fuck up like perfect societies.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's a really good book too. You should check out the book.
Okay, I will. There's a movie called Donkey Punch. You ever see that fucker Donkey Punch? They're on a boat, and he actually...
I heard about it. I haven't
the
seen
Donkey
it.
Punch sex move and punches her in the back of the head when he's fucking her.
And kills her, yeah.
But accidentally kills her
Yeah.
with it. And it's a stupid movie. It's a stupid premise, but it's on a boat, and he donkey punched her. I gotta put it on now. Eden Lake doesn't really take place in the water, but it's around a lake. Have you seen Eden Lake?
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good little torture, fucking fucked up kids kind of movie. Humanoids from the Deep.
That's an old one, right?
It's an old one, yeah. An oldie but a baddie.
Yeah. That's like 1960s.
Yeah, it's not good, but...
I think I saw the Mystery Science Theater version of that.
Yeah. The Host, like you had it on your list. Zombievers.
Zombievers.
Zombievers. They come from the water.
The movie is way better than it has any right to be.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Friday the 13th.
He comes from the water.
He does come from the water. There's a lot of water elements. I wouldn't put it on the list because it's not water related enough.
Right.
And then Grabbers, even though I reviewed it in this fucking podcast.
Yep.
That's a good little water horror movie.
Yeah, it is.
Even out of and The Faculty as well. So, Faculty, even out of the water.
Yeah, they
water,
do,
it's
yeah.
all water related. They
Yeah.
have to have the water to multiply and to live.
Yeah.
Similar to Grabbers, so.
Underrated. It's really underrated.
It
like,
is.
People, I think people talk a lot of shit about it because of like the
Ushers
generation that it came. Yeah,
yeah.
It's an MTV
and it
horror
came out.
movie.
It's like MTV, like Scream. I Know What You
Yeah.
Did Last Summer, same kind of thing. But it's so much better than those movies.
Yeah, it's probably that and Idle Hands are probably the best of that.
Yeah, Idle Hands is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great tit scene in that movie.
Oh yeah, those are some of the best hits in all of cinema.
Yeah, cinema.
What else you got?
So I had The Monster in Deep Rising, Lake Placid, Crocodile.
Crocodile.
Uh,
Gotta feed it.
a lot of people talk shit about this movie. I don't give a fuck. I like it. Pacific Rim.
I hate it.
Fucking
I hate it.
Giant robots fighting giant fucking sea monsters. I'm down with it. The boat scene in Cape Fear.
Yeah, Cape Fear is fucking amazing.
Yeah. I think that's probably my favorite De Niro movie, and I'm a fan of De Niro. But
It might be mine too. Yeah.
yeah, that and
Maybe
that
Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver
you don't
are
know.
close, but
I couldn't really like separate them.
yeah,
And then Meet the Fockers, also the sequel to Meet the.
I haven't seen that.
Just joking.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say. Not a horror movie, but a fucking terrifying sea monster in the movie Eric the Viking with Tim Robbins.
I've never seen that.
It's a Monty Python-esque kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't think it's actually made by anyone involved in Monty Python,
but it's that kind of comedy.
yeah. And Tim Robbins plays this like Viking who's like he's kind of a pussy, but he keeps getting stuck on all these adventures, and he eventually like goes like actually ends up in Valhalla, and like there's a scene where they have to deal with a sea monster, and it's a giant fucking anglerfish, and anglerfish scare the shit out of me.
Anglerfish are fucking. That's nature's terrifying creation.
Do you know how they breed? Have I ever told you how they breed?
No.
So the female anglerfish is about the size of a basketball.
Okay.
Male anglerfish is about the size of a tennis ball. Male anglerfish swims up to the female anglerfish, and they have those big fucking fangly teeth.
Yeah. And the little fucking light.
Yeah,
LED
the
light.
things. Yeah. The male cracks his jaw open all the way so that the teeth are pointing straight out. And then he swims up to the female fish, and he sinks his teeth into her, and he latches onto her. And they mate through the blood. And then the male anglerfish never detaches. He stays there. And
Forever.
becomes a vestigial thing on the female's body.
Like morphs into her almost?
Yeah. He's still alive. He's still conscious, but like his skin heals into her skin. And you can tell how old a female anglerfish is by how many extra light up balls they have sticking up off their back because they only mate once a year.
That's fucking weird.
They're fucking aliens, man.
They are.
They're
when you go into, that's the thing about this list. When you go deeper and deeper into the sea, that's as crazy as going into deep space.
yeah. Lovecraft was onto something.
Yeah, it's like Lovecraft and Geiger. That's like the combination, fusion.
Yeah.
It's like Lovecraft and Geiger. You know, they touched dicks together, but one of them had a foreskin, but the other didn't.
Right.
And he wrapped the foreskin around.
Turned
his,
into a Chinese finger trap.
and Chinese finger trapped him, and then fused like an anglerfish.
yeah. And then
You
it,
can tell-
it traveled time to the very beginning of
You
Earth.
can tell how old HP Lovecraft is by how many Geigers are sticking out of his dick. How many Geigers are attached to his dick? They're lights.
They're Geiger
The light up. That's why they have. That's why they both have initials. You know, H.R. Geiger.
HR and HP. Yeah.
You know, it was not. He did not originally have initials, but once he attached,
he got
to be
initials.
abbreviated. Yeah. Okay.
All right. That was it for me. I got nothing after that.
That's it for me. Chinese finger trap, foreskin, H.R. Geiger,
Yep.
HP Lovecraft.
Yep. And on that note, as HP Lovecraft once said, while fusing his penis with another H.R. Geiger, if it smells like fish,
Throw the fucker back.
Church key. Church key.